does that smell?
Ooh, it's Friday, guys.
It's the weekend! Oh, it's also coffee that you smell.
Oh, yeah, you smell it. Of course.
You are watching Smell the Coffee on a Friday, the 20th of October. Jeez.
It's payday for some
flying.
people. Huh?
Oh, do you have friends? Should we call them up?
Yeah, I know. I have a list.
You have a list?
There's the 15th, there's the 20th, there's the 25th,
You already know.
and the 30th. Yeah.
You already know.
I know you people.
So you will never run out of money.
Never. Have you seen this? No.
You are joined by Diana Master and Glenn Norashipura. So because it's a Friday, I need to ask, what's the worst hangover you've ever had?
Wow, I don't even think it was a hangover. It was just like alcohol poisoning.
Oh, geez.
Yes. So I was traveling, and then I got invited to this party. And then I get there, and it was like the first time I've seen something like that. Like, there was alcohol everywhere.
Yeah.
Any bottle you can think of, there was. So what had happened was I sat down next to like a shot basket. So they had like different shots in there. They have tequila, they have whatever. So anybody who's coming there is like,
Can
yo,
just take whatever
do you want to
shot.
have a shot with me? And then I'm like, yeah, sure. Then so it's the first time I had
Did you
alcohol
wake up in
poisoning.
the hospital?
Yeah, no, I woke up like, how did I get home? How did I get
gosh.
here? And then I couldn't move. I couldn't do nothing. I was like pale.
Oh my
like,
goodness. Oh my. And you're
My
in a
friend
foreign
made some-
country. That must have been terrifying.
But I was with friends and stuff, so that was
jeez.
fine.
No, but still, that's like my worst.
Yeah, I get it, what you mean. Like, yeah, but I was like with friends and like, oh, this is what you need to do. And I was like, what happened? What is your worst experience?
I'm a rock star. I don't get hangovers.
Yeah, I'm actually afraid to drink with you. I'm actually afraid. This girl can take, cocktails. She can take shots. She can take whiskey in the same night. She still woke up fresh and happy in the morning.
Fresh
I'm like,
as a daisy.
I do not trust you at all. I'm never drinking with you.
What do you mean you don't trust me? There was one day though, the night of my birthday last year.
Yeah.
Because when it's your birthday, everyone is so excited. They're just giving you shots. And Glenora comes. Glenora is like, I'm going to get you a tequila shot.
Yes.
Before you even say anything, it's there.
Exactly.
James comes. He's like, no, I'm going to get you
A
Jägermeister. And everyone is just bringing these different shots. And you're like, I got this. I just remember, and I was like, no, we're going to go to the club after this. We're in the car, and then I just said, nah, turn the car around. The minute I got to my gate, I just got out, and I threw up. You would think I'd wake up with the massive hangover. No, I woke up, I was like, what was that, Diana? What? That was like a weak move.
That's not me. That's not me. Like, psst. Like I said, I am very weary of you. We're not drinking together.
We are.
If we're together, I'm drinking sparkling water.
It's fine. I'll drink for the both of us. We'll now take a quick ad break and return with our top stories.
Welkom jullie, mijn naam is Brian Munango en ik is jullie aanbieder voor gooikolen. Dit meest donderdagse sportstrip noem. Einde van hierdie programma zal ik en hoe om Frans te praten. Je m'appelle? Je bent?
Le Jean.
Ik ga iets op mijn
Is dit een onderbroek?
Blijf geschakeld, we zien jullie weer vrijdag volgende week.
Gooi
Gooi.
For those of you that religiously follow Smell the Coffee, last week, Friday, we did report on a 104-year-old woman that went skydiving.
Yeah,
You remember
I
that?
was very excited.
Yes, unfortunately, she died before Guinness could confirm her record as the oldest skydiver. A 104-year-old woman has died a little more than a week after she potentially broke the world record for the oldest skydiver. Dorothy Hoffner jumped 13,500 feet from a plane with Skydive Chicago in Ottawa on October 1st. She likely died in her sleep Monday at Brookdale Senior Living, the center said. The associates at Brookdale Lakeview are deeply saddened by the passing of our resident Dorothy Hoffner, the statement said. We were thrilled to see her continue to live with passion and purpose, skydiving earlier this month at 104 and ultimately proving that age is just a number. She'll be greatly missed by our entire community. Guinness World Records is still working to confirm if Hoffner broke the record for the oldest person to jump from a plane. The current record belongs to Linnea Ingegard Larsson of Sweden, who was 103 when she made a jump in 2022, the Associated Press reported.
You know, what's really saddening about this, although it's not as sad because she's really lived her life. You know what I'm saying? She did everything that she wanted to do. So she said for her 105th birthday, which is going to be in December, she was going to go bungee jumping.
I'm getting goosebumps.
I'm getting goosebumps too. So that's why I'm like, I was actually looking forward to that. So I was
she really could have held up just 3 more months.
Exactly, in December, and then she goes and bungee jumps. So,
shame.
but the fact that you even hear that she died in her sleep, so meaning it was a peaceful,
peaceful death.
Yes, and she lived her life. I'm actually getting goosebumps.
I'm just mad that Guinness took so long to confirm her record.
Yeah, actually, why do they do that?
They still haven't.
I actually want to find out, can they confirm it even though she's passed? Is it possible? Oh, so she can still be...
I think she can, yeah.
She can still have that.
Because she wasn't dead when she jumped.
Yes, exactly.
So I'm pretty sure they would still give her the record.
Because she deserves it. Well deserved. A life well lived.
A life well lived. Rest in peace.
Yes, I think we need to start taking more risk. I know we talked about going for skydiving. So maybe going drinking. Yeah, but I think that we keep on putting things off that we want to do. So maybe this is a good lesson. Like, yeah, if you want to do something, maybe you should do it.
You know what else is a good lesson?
Yeah.
Taking 15 years so that you can revenge someone.
Yes, that's in our next story. So a woman spent 15 years getting petty revenge on a man that spat on her friend at a comedy show. Now, Linda Holly Sollard took to TikTok to share the story with her followers. And let me tell you, it's quite the tale. Linda starts by explaining that it all started 15 years back when she and some of her college friends went to a comedy show. Now, during the evening, one of her friends stood up and managed to accidentally kick over a chair, which caused the bloke sitting beside her to spill his drink over himself. Now, although Linda's friend apologized profusely for the accident, he called her stupid and fat and even spat at her. Oh, wow. Wow.
Shucks.
Now, Linda says following the incident, they move on with their night, but she adds they do not move on with their lives. The next day, she sets out about finding the man on Facebook, and here she discovers that he's obsessed with the TV shows like Breaking Bad and The Walking Dead. So armed with that knowledge, she made a bunch of fake Facebook accounts and began to scour the internet for any spoilers related to his favorite shows, which she would then message him. Wow. Linda said as quickly as he would block an account, she would simply create another one and continue to message him.
It's giving, Diana.
It's giving
Would you do that? Much me. I'm very petty. Some people may know me as Petty LaBelle. I'm Petica, Petty LaBelle.
So I just go find out your favorite. Yeah, like, you know, those people that don't like spoilers.
I don't know. Have you watched The Good Place?
I love The Good Place.
I think that's like the perfect revenge. Just little minor inconveniences that make your life so miserable.
Yes. The way they were playing on them.
Yes.
And especially finding out this character's quirks or whatever.
Yes.
And what will irk them. And then they put
That's
them
what
in
I'm getting from the story.
Like,
I think this guy was in his good place for a while.
His good
this
bad place.
girl just kept sending her spoilers.
So
that
she
is
kept
amazing.
on creating like fake accounts, and you know the story does continue.
Yeah.
So apparently, like after like 8 years or so, she stops. You know, she's like, okay, whatever.
I'm grown now.
I'm grown now. Because at some point they were even in the same college. Like,
oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So and she would find out what he likes, and she will keep on like sending him spoilers. So at some point she's like, I'm grown. You know what? I'm gonna let it go. And then 8 years later, she finds out that a friend of her friend is getting married.
To this guy?
Yes, to this guy. And then she's like, and apparently the friend is like an angel. She's like the sweetest person.
She's like, you don't know who you're marrying.
And then she goes to her, you know,
Yeah.
laptop, and she finds out that he's been posting this woman on Reddit and just saying some mean stuff about the woman he's gonna get married to.
Are you serious?
And then she takes that whole Reddit account and then she sends it to the soon-to-be wife. the fiance, and then she finds out about this, and then guess what? She calls off the wedding. So I'm just saying.
Look out for your friends. Everybody needs friends like that.
And it's a friend of a friend even. It's not even like her closest
friend.
No,
everyone needs friends like that. With women, especially when someone comes to warn us about our partner, it's like, no, but I know my man. He'd never do that.
He'll never do that. But would you go to that extent to revenge someone?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Libras.
Is it a Libra thing? Yeah, it's a Libra thing. One thing about me, I don't forget.
Really?
Whatever you do to me, best believe I'm going to do it to you 10 times worse.
It can be now, it can be in 10 years.
You don't know.
Wow,
you
wow, wow.
I will strike when you least expect it. And I will strike in the most unlikely way. Why wait for karma when I could take karma into my own hands?
Wow, you sound like a well-written
Forgiveness
TV
is for
villain.
God. Forgiveness is for the Lord. I'm not the Lord. I'm not the one. I saw a TikTok that said things I've learned. It's a white guy that said things I've learned from marrying a black woman. She's not the one. I'm not the one, sweetie. I'm not the one.
You can't mess with me and get away with it.
I'm not the one.
No.
Now, in a disturbing twist of events, a Chinese couple jailed for putting glass shards in mouths to extort money from 17 restaurants. A Chinese court sentenced a couple to 22 months in prison and fined them 11,000 yuan, which is $1,500 for blackmailing 17 restaurants by putting glass in their mouths and pretending they'd found it in the food. The man's surname Chen and the woman's surname Jiang from Shanghai were accused of conspiring to extort more than $1,400 from the businesses. Wang Jie, the procurator at Shanghai Jing'an District People's Court, found that the con began by Jiang placing the pieces of glass in her mouth during meals the couple had ordered and pretending to be cut. After alerting staff, Chen then negotiated with them for compensation. In a surveillance video that shocked social media, the couple can be seen with their little boy dining in a restaurant. Jiang lowers her head to eat as Chen calls restaurant staff over. They use the same tactic repeatedly in other eateries. Wang said that every time the couple claimed there was harmful foreign matter in the dishes, they demanded free meals and compensation of amounts ranging from $27 to approximately like $600. The duo succeeded in their first scam on March 30, which motivated them to repeat it a further 16 times before they were exposed. How the scam was brought to light is not disclosed. If the restaurant refused to cough up, the pair would lodge a complaint with the governmental public service hotline or local market regulation bureaus, but most businesses wanted to avoid damage to their reputation, so they usually settled with the couple. Chen was jailed for 1 year and fined $820, while Jiang was given a 10-month jail sentence and a $720 fine.
Wow. Oh, wow. You know, so they would demand compensation of $600. That's around about 6K.
No, that's like 9K.
Oh yeah, 9K actually. Yes, because you know,
rate.
Yeah, the rate is the dollar is.
You're looking at two girls that failed math, so please don't take our word
yes,
for
exactly.
It. You can watch Africa Good Morning because then they always have stock prices.
Exactly. I don't know what we are going against the dollar at right now, but it's really a lot. Like it's still within like.
I think it's like 1832 if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. So wow, that is crazy. Like,
get your bag,
what?
man. I don't know.
I mean,
I know
the fact that they did it 16 times before they were caught. That's a lot of times, guys.
I know a couple that used to walk around with like dead roaches in like a plastic. Another couple used to walk around with like hair, and then they just sprinkle the hair in the food and then be like, "Hi, I found hair in my food."
Oh my word!
The other couple would be like, "I found this cockroach in my food, so you're supposed to give me free food."
Oh my word!
And yesterday when we were out,
but because it's also really impossible. Like it's. Like I've worked in a restaurant as a waiter, and I really get the due. Sometimes something had happened for sure, but it's also like when they place the dish at the area where you can pick it up as a waiter, they make sure that you know it's well presented. Like there's so many things that goes into it. So it's almost like. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but it's really highly unlikely. Like,
and the thing is, like, most of these restaurants have to go through a health and fitness or whatever they call it. Yes. So that time you know there are no restaurants
in your roaches.
Yeah, like, you have no roaches in your restaurant, but then these people are saying they found a roach.
Yeah.
So, yeah, guys, just be careful. I know of a girl that went drinking here in Windhoek. So she was drinking wine, and as she was about to sip, there was like a huge shard of glass in her wine. No, it's nothing. No. But just the fact that she could have
No, I'm actually getting like, I'm scared about that. Like what? Like you can just swallow like a glass.
A glass. But that brings us to the end of our top stories. Now, right after this, Aina spoke to Adriano and they discussed all of his amazing accomplishments. Have a look.
Welcome to What's Cooking, where culinary passion meets expert insights.
Somebody must really want to cook and want to cook good food.
Immerse yourself in the bustling world of professional kitchens as top chefs create mouth-watering dishes. Join us for in-depth interviews as our host explores the experiences and expertise of our guest chefs. Don't miss out. Tune in to What's Cooking on NTV every Friday at 2100 hours and let the culinary adventure begin.
Somebody pinch me because I am joined by a real-life superstar, from the big screens to an excelling actor and even banging Continental Award nomination. He is truly sparkling in his magic, and today I'm hoping that some of that magic could be sprinkled on this show so that all of us can just soak in it, so that that type of grace that Adriano is having right now can rub off us. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm really doing well. Thank you so much for having me, Ida.
Every time I see you, I have to congratulate you for something. Every single time, be it on social media, be it in real life, every time, congratulations, Adriano. And today I want to start with those very words. Congratulations on everything that you have been doing, everything that you have going on. You know, your life is really just, I think, working out as you've envisioned it to work out. And I'm really happy for you and I'm proud of you. You are nominated, you know, for Africa Choice Awards in the category of Best Male Influencer. Right. Is that correct?
Yes, that's Best Male Brand Influencer.
Best Male Brand Influencer. Yeah. Fantastic. Tell us what that nomination means to you. Where were you when they first gave you the call to say, hey, Adriano, you're nominated? Did they even kring you, or you just saw it on social media? What had happened?
So this is my second time I'm getting nominated at the Africa Choice Awards. Last year it was for Best Emerging Actor. I was amongst, you know, like I said, you know, colleagues from the African diaspora. And having looked this year, I saw an email. So this morning, there was one morning I woke up and I saw an email that you've been nominated as Best Male Influencer. Wow. So I was in awe because, you know, the trajectory of the artistic scene has definitely changed. I love the fact that, you know, I've capitalized on the digital space and being called an influencer has really made me realize that one thing, it's not really necessarily about how many followers one has, but how one can sort of capitalize on your platform. So it's not about being an influencer, but it's how influential you are.
It's about having impact in real life.
Yeah.
All right, how do we vote for you? Do we go on a website? Do we have to, you know, scrub our backs to get out our last $5 to buy airtime? How do we vote for you?
So there is a link in my link tree, which is also in my bio on my social media platform. One of the things that I've worked on this year religiously was launching my website, which is adrianofisaki.com. It gives you access to booking me. It gives you access to all the work I've done. Okay. And it's quite user-friendly. And part of that, also one of my favorite, which is the philanthropy work that I do on the website. But there's a link to it on my social media platform that allows you to vote as well. So you'll see Africa Choice Awards, Best Male Influencer. You go directly straight to the link. It's $1, so US dollars. So that perhaps, you know, depending on the rate, might be about $10 for voting.
Okay, so I need to use my banking details.
Absolutely.
Then. Okay,
yeah.
Okay, cool.
Something moving to show.
Love that. You are on Showmax. Oh my gosh, when I first saw that your movie is on Showmax, I was like, I know this face.
Right.
Listen, I know famous people. Leave me alone. So what does it mean for you to be on such a huge platform? I mean, people in South Africa are watching you, Nigeria, Kenya, everywhere where Showmax is accessible. Right. They are all watching you. They know you. When you walk in Joburg, people will be like, hey, I know you. Yeah. How does it feel?
To be honest, it's very humbling. It reminds me of the first time I did my first feature film. you know, where everybody would bump into me in town and be like, yo, salute. So it's really about representation. The fact that I never thought in a million years that we would have a collaboration between MBC and MultiChoice to really come together and say, but we are creating a platform for Namibian films to be featured on such a platform. So that for me speaks of where we've grown as an industry. It also speaks of those who have paid the way forward for us, because it wasn't easy. I think of the late David Njaveras, the Stanley Van Wyks, because they were the first actors that perhaps they were questioned like, hey, is this a passion or is this sort of just a hobby? And here we are as actors being able to say, but I'm an actor and I'm on Showmax. So, yeah, you know, it's no man is an island. So in all honesty, playing and being, you know, part of Showmax means a lot. The film is called Handholder. It was written by Ndino Molo. He also wrote it and he stars in it. And for me, it was quite humbling having to work with Tim Hoopschler. So yeah, that for me was the aim of this production, having to sort of tick off from my bucket list that I'm working with Tim Hoopschler on a production.
Wow. You know what I love that you just said now? You said, hey, I'm an actor and I'm on Showmax. Big purr, big energy. All right, you spoke about, you know, your previous films. You spoke about Salute, which I absolutely love. You were also in Kapana. Kapana has been, you know, streaming on global sites. You know, it has been showcased on, you know, international platforms and international festivals, rather. And so then now you've done Handholder, okay? What is the thought process? How do you prepare for such big productions? Are there any rituals that you do beforehand? Do you say a little prayer? Do you first, you know, I think it's called type acting, where you know, embody, you become the character. What do you do? Yeah,
so the type acting is actually something different, because when you're being typecast, that means there's roles that sort of allow you to be playing the same character. However, for me to get into character, there's a lot of characterization that happens up front. But in all honesty, I always pray for God to allow me the right roles.
You need to share that prayer with me.
Yeah,
I want to that.
I think it's also the right platforms. I mean, I'm on this platform to share this as well, is that for me, prayer is a foundation of who and what I want to achieve. I believe having done Salute was a different space I was in, because that was my first feature. I have we've got a film on another platform as well. So it's just, sorry, I'm a bit overwhelmed now. But Kapana for me has been one of those roles that allowed me to dig deep into having to play a character who's HIV positive, but also a character who's living a positive life. So at the end of the day, it's, you know, what is it that I could sort of relate to and say, but I've either gone to study people in the community that live such a lifestyle in order for me to authentically tell a story. So the thought process is coming back. I'm on a film that's also on Amazon Prime. I think we're in a stage and in a time where I feel we are doing and placing the country on a map, and perhaps it's also a time for me as a creative to say, but are we reaching out enough to government and for government and stakeholders to say, but are you applying back enough within the artistic space?
Okay. And you know, you were first introduced to us as a media presenter, television presenter, and now you are an actor. Have you always wanted to be an actor? Because I know you just as Adriano, television, radio, your energy days. Where does acting come from?
So I started acting in church. You know, the acting in church was, you wanted to always be Joseph, and everybody's aim was to be Joseph, and then you become one of the three wise men, and then one year you become an animal in the stable.
I love that story, because I can relate to it.
and for me, it's the beauty of that. That's where the seed was planted, and having done dance at the College of the Arts, that exposed me to my first theatre play. What you call an actor that has never studied the craft, but whose passion is there wholeheartedly. And
All right, so you are an actor that is actually really, really talented. You don't need to learn to
There's a lot of learning, trust me. There's still a lot of learning. I've gone through a lot of classes, a lot of workshops. LA acting allowed me to do method acting, which is sort of where you really get onto cue. If I'm told, no, you need to be Aina, how does Aina sit? How does Aina cry? What does Aina do when the mic is on? So, though, you know, it's a skill, and you need to harness the skill all the time. So there is a little group that we also call the Actors Lab, where we come together and we really share scripts and how we could sort of constantly craft the art.
And finally, before I let you go, you have to talk about your foundation, because I think it's such impactful work that you're doing. I live by the words of Charlotte Magnege, do not live above your people, live with them. And if you rise, take someone with you.
Absolutely.
And that is what you're doing with your foundation. Talk to us about that.
Lisa.
Due to time constraints, we had to cut the interview short, but you can catch the full interview on all of NMH's Facebook pages as Namibian Sun, Republican Algemeine Zeitung, and Namibia Media Holdings. Well, that is it for today's episode of Smile the Coffee. We do hope you have yourselves a lovely, lovely weekend from Diana Master and Glenn Rashipura. It's all our love, all our light, and adios.